Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A very good morning to one and all. Myself Sara Imtiaz Kadu, Assistant Professor from Anjuman Islam Janjira Degree College of Science, Murud. I'm here to present my views on post-COVID situation in education. I will start it by giving a little introduction of this disease COVID-19. As we all know, the novel human coronavirus COVID-19 disease was first reported in Wuhan, China and then subsequently spread all over the world. The virus is highly contagious and it rapidly and continuously spread among the human population. The first case in India of COVID-19 was reported on 30th January 2020. The impact of pandemic COVID-19 is observed in every sector around the world. The education sectors of India as well as world are badly affected by this. It has enforced the worldwide lockdown, creating very bad effect on the students' life. Around 32 crore learners stopped to move. School, colleges and all the educational activities halted in India. The outbreak of COVID-19 has taught us that change is inevitable. It has worked as a catalyst for the educational institutions to grow and opt for platforms with technologies which have not been used before. The education sector has been fighting to survive the crisis with a different approach and digitizing the challenge to wash away the threat of pandemic. This paper highlights some measures taken by Government of India to provide seamless education in the country. Both the positive and negative impacts of COVID-19 on education are discussed and some fruitful suggestions are also pointed to carry out educational activities during the pandemic situation. Objectives. The present research paper focused on the following objectives: to enlighten various measures taken by Government of India for education sector during this pandemic, to highlight the various positive impact of COVID-19 on education, to enlist some negative impacts of COVID-19 and to put some effective suggestions for continuing education during the pandemic situation. Positive impact of COVID-19 on education are: rise in use of learning management systems. Use of learning management systems by educational institutions became a great demand. It opened a great opportunity for the companies those have been developing and strengthening learning management systems for use educational institutions. Enhance the use of soft copy of learning material. In lockdown situations, students were not able to collect the hard copies of study materials and hence most of the students used of soft copy materials for reference. Improved in collaborative work. There is a new opportunity where the collaborative teaching and learning can take on new forms. Collaborations can also happen among faculty teachers across the world to benefit from each other. Rise in online meetings. The pandemic has created a massive rise in teleconferencing, virtual meetings, webinars, and e-conferencing opportunities. Enhanced digital literacy. The pandemic situation induced people to learn and use digital technology and resulted in increasing the digital literacy. Improved the use of electronic media for sharing information. Learning materials are shared among the students easily and the related queries are resolved through email, SMS, phone calls and using the different social medias like WhatsApp or Facebook. Worldwide exposure. Educators and learners are getting opportunities to interact with peers from around the world. Learners adapted to an international community. Better time management. Students are able to manage their time more efficiently in online education during the pandemics. Demand for open and distance learning. During the pandemic situation, most of the students preferred ODL mode as it encourages self-learning, providing opportunities to learn from diverse resources and customize learning as per their needs. Negative impact of this COVID-19 on education. Educational activity hampered. Classes have been suspended and exams at different levels postponed. Different boards have already postponed the annual examinations and entrance tests. Admission process got delayed due to continuity in lockdown. Students suffered a loss of nearly 3 months of the full academic year of 2020 and 2021, which is going to further deteriorate the situation of continuity in education, and as students would face much difficulty in resuming schooling again after a huge gap. Impact on employment: most of the recruitment got postponed due to COVID-19. Placements for students may also be affected, with companies delaying the onboards of students. Unemployment rate is expected to be increased due to this pandemic. In India, there is no recruitment in government sector, and the fresh graduates fear withdrawal of their job offers from private sectors because of the current situation. The Center for Monitoring India's Economic estimates on unemployment shot up from 8.4% in mid-March to 23% in early April, and the urban unemployment rate to 30.9%. When the unemployment increases, then the education gradually decreases as people struggle for food rather than education. Unprepared teachers, students for online education. Not all the teachers, students are good at it, or at least not all of them were ready for this sudden transition from face-to-face learning to online learning. Most of the teachers are just conducting lectures on video platforms such as Zoom, Google Meet, etc., which may not be real online learning without any dedicated online learning platform. Increased responsibility of parents to educate their wards. Some educated parents are able to guide, but some may not have the adequate level of education needed to teach children in the house. Loss of nutrition due to school closure. Midday meals in a school meal program of the Government of India, which is designed to provide better than nutritional food to school-age children nationwide. The closure of school has serious implications on the daily nutrition of students, as the midday meal schemes have temporarily been shut. Various studies have pointed out that midday meals are also an important contributing factor for increased enrollment in the schools. Access to the global education. The pandemic has significantly disrupted the higher education sector. A large number of Indian students who are enrolled in many universities abroad, especially in worst affected countries, are now leaving those countries, and if the situation persists in the long run, there will be a significant decline in demand for international higher education. Payment of the schools colleges fee got delayed during this lockdown. Most of the parents will be facing the unemployment situation, so they may not be able to pay the fee for that particular time periods, which may affect the private institutes. I would like to conclude my topic here. COVID-19 has impacted immensely to the education sector of India. Though it has created many challenges, various opportunities are also evolved. The Indian government and different stakeholders of education have explored the possibility of open and distance learning (ODL) by adopting different digital technologies to cope up with the present crisis of COVID-19. India is not fully equipped to make education reach all corners of the nation via digital platform. The students who aren't privileged like the others will suffer due to the present choice of digital platforms. But universities and the government of India are relentlessly trying to come up with a solution to resolve this problem. The priority should be to utilize the digital technology to create an advantageous position for millions of the young students in India. It is need of the hour for the education institutions to strengthen their knowledge and information technology infrastructure to be ready for facing COVID-19 like situations. Thank you for this.